Hello guys, David here and you're watching Btekt. And today I want to compare two pretty incredible smartphones. I mean, Sony, in the short year that I've been working here, have released three top of the line flagship phones. The Xperia XZ2 was released last year, and then we saw the Xperia XZ3, which to me is still the best looking handset. And now Sony are getting ready to launch the Xperia 1, which, judging from what we know about it, is going to be the best Sony phone ever, hands down. We're looking at a 4K HDR screen here, the first 4K HDR screen on any smartphone. But the Xperia XZ3 was only released a few months ago, and it's still a brilliant handset, and is probably going to see quite a huge price reduction when the Xperia 1 comes out. So this video I'm going to look at the differences between the Xperia XZ3 and the Xperia 1 to see if you really want to shell out the extra and go for the very latest tech, or if you don't mind going for a handset that's only a few months old that actually could be a better deal. Before we go on, let me say a big thank you to Direct Mobiles. They have over 24 years of award-winning customer service and just a great selection of handsets to choose from. You're bound to find the right deal for you. They even have comparison tools. So check down in the video description below for a link to their deals, or search directmobiles.co.uk. So one major difference between the Xperia XZ3 and the Xperia 1 is in the camera system. A lot of people will say that it's a major upgrade with the Xperia 1, but then the purists might prefer the camera system that we find on the Xperia XZ3. We have a 19 megapixel Exmor RS for mobiles memory stack sensor on the XZ3 with an f2.0 Sony G lens. The Xperia 1, as I said before, now has three 12 megapixel sensors, an ultra wide, a wide angle and a telephoto. The main sensor is the wide angle, and that also is an Exmor memory stack sensor. The Exmor sensors are similar to what they use in their Alpha range of full-frame mirrorless cameras. It's a rearrangement of the typical architecture that you'd find in a standard CMOS sensor, tweaked to greatly improve the light gathering capabilities of each individual pixel, making them great for low light applications. The new main sensor in the Xperia 1 has larger pixels than the Xperia XZ3 at 1.4 microns versus 1.22 microns on the XZ3. Larger pixels means better light gathering ability, which basically means you're going to get a cleaner picture in low light. The ultra-wide and the telephoto lenses have f2.4 apertures and 1 micron pixels. 5-axis optical image stabilization features in the main and in the telephoto lens. And of course we get 4K HDR video recording. This was a feature that we first saw in the Xperia XZ2, although to me it didn't really work very well. It did skip frames quite often. The newer hardware in the Xperia XZ3 solved that problem, but now in the Xperia 1, they've gone one step further and included lots more video tools for cinematic style recording, including being able to record video in that 21:9 aspect ratio. Arguably the main event of this phone is the screen. It's a 6.5-inch tri-luminous OLED display with 1644 by 3840 resolution, 643 ppi density and covered in Gorilla Glass 6. The display is also powered by Sony's X1 for mobile engine, which is able to upscale normal video content into 4K and remaster that content into HDR. They've kept it flat, there's no curves on it as there was on the Xperia XZ3. They don't want any interruptions or distortions as you're viewing this screen. But the display on the XZ3 is also beautiful. It's a 6-inch OLED QHD Plus HDR tri-luminous display with 1440 by 2880 resolution and uses Sony's X Reality for mobile engine, which is also capable of upscaling the normal content to HDR. This was one of the best screens from last year, so as amazing as the screen is on the Xperia 1, you're still going to get a fantastic viewing experience with the XZ3. Internally, the XZ3 has a Snapdragon 845 processor, 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal storage, which is upgradable to 512GB. The Xperia 1 will run on the Snapdragon 855 processor, have 6GB of RAM and 128GB of onboard storage, and also have microSD support up to 512GB. The selfie camera seems to be one thing that hasn't changed from the Xperia XZ3. They're both 8 megapixel sensors covered in an f2.0 G lens with a 24mm equivalent field of view. The battery is also the same as well. Both devices have 3300 mAh units, which is to me a little bit disappointing. The Xperia XZ3 doesn't have the most amazing battery life. It's plenty to get you through a day, but it won't push me at least through to a day and a half. With some of the competition putting huge 4200 mAh batteries and even more in their handsets, it would have been nice if Sony could have just pushed it up a little bit more, especially considering that the Xperia 1 has that 4K screen. Hopefully they're going to have some very clever and very well optimized software in there and give us a great battery life. But we'll have to wait and see. So there you have it guys, 2 great phones. If you're in the market for a new phone and you definitely want a Sony flagship, then I hope this video has helped. If it has, then it'd be great if you could hit the subscribe button, double tap notifications and smash the like button for me. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, it's @Btekt, and add me on Snapchat, it's david.btekt. That's it from me, thanks for watching, my name's David and this is Btekt.